Joe McElderry, X Factor winner, coming to Skegness. He's on the way.
On air and online.
This is BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
You may have seen X Factor winner Joe McElderry recently taking part in the jump on Channel 5. I don't know whether you saw it. It was during the Olympics, or just before the Olympics, actually, the Winter Olympics. And celebrities were challenged to take part in the Winter Olympic disciplines, like bobsleigh and ski jump and all those kind of things. And actually, most of the celebrities taking part did break and had to pull out of the competition. However, X Factor singer Joe McElderry didn't, because he turned out to be brilliant, and I wasn't expecting that. Well, he's coming to Skegness, and you'll be able to hear from him in a minute. So yes, a former X Factor winner, Joe McElderry, recently took part in the jump on Channel 4. Celebrities were challenged to take part in the disciplines that you would find in the Winter Olympics, like the bobsleigh, like ski jump, and other things. And actually, most of the celebrities were injured before the end, and so it only came out to the final few, but Joe wasn't one of them, did brilliantly. Anyway, he's coming to Skegness, to the Embassy Theatre, on this coming Saturday, the 29th of March, which surprised me, because I knew that he started doing his tour straight after doing the jump, and I thought that was incredibly brave.
Well, I think I was a little bit mad doing it before tour, in case I had any broken bones. I was starting to panic and thinking, if I fall here, I'm never gonna live this one down.
Because the celebrities were dropping like flies.
Yeah, I think they lost about 4 people.
I know.
It was crazy.
And just bits of them getting broken.
It was, yeah, I mean, some of the stuff we were doing was, like, so dangerous, but so much fun. Like, I had an absolute blast doing it, and probably one of the best experiences of my life, you know, just doing something out of your comfort zone that, like, I'm a massive fan of skiing, so that kind of helped, but I loved it.
Because I have to say, and I don't mean to be rude, but I wasn't expecting you to do so well, but you were really good, actually.
You see, I keep all my secret talents hidden.
Which was your favourite thing? Because it did, when I was watching it, I really wanted to go on that tray. I've forgotten what you call it, but going down the bobsleigh thing.
Bobsleigh was okay, but the skeleton run was absolutely horrendous.
Oh, it looks so much fun,
I would never, ever do that again.
Really?
It was petrifying.
Did you bosh?
Just horrible.
A lot?
You what?
Did you get boshed a lot?
Oh, I came off it and I was black and blue with bruises. And I nearly broke my arm as well doing that as well, so that wasn't fun.
That's not good at all. It does seem, since we last saw you on the X Factor, well, since we saw you on the X Factor, I couldn't believe it was 2009.
5 years nearly. It's crazy.
Much has happened, though, for you, hasn't it?
I think I'm just one of these crazy people that you know, signs up to all these shows and just thinks, oh yeah, I'll have fun with it. And then, you know, the opera show being one of them as well, you know, I never expected that. I think the good thing about it is I do these shows because I genuinely want to do them because they're fun. And then, like, kind of, I throw myself into them and give 120%, you know, I'm just one of them people.
Because you did the pop star to opera star as well, didn't you? And that was in 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that again, I just kind of thought that would be a fun thing, you know, I didn't think it would then lead to us doing some classical music, you know, and obviously in the shows I do now, I still do the classical stuff, so it's become a massive part of my career. But naturally, it wasn't kind of forced, it was weird.
Did you always want to branch into the classical?
Not at all. I mean, I never, previous to that show, I never ever would have said, oh yeah, I'll be doing opera. I never thought I would be able to sing it, and 2, I just never, to be quite honest with you, I never had an interest in it. I was a bit like one of those people who was a bit like, classical music's not for me. And then when I did that show and I was educated a bit on it, I started to really love it.
What's it like? It seems like, I don't know, a rite of passage to sing something like Nessun Dorma. Was it incredible?
The thing that's incredible is that it takes people's breath away, that kind of music, no matter what it is, but especially Nessun Dorma. I think it's when people hear something with an orchestra and the sound and the accent, you know, singing in the Italian or Spanish or whatever, it has this effect on an audience, and I can literally, when I sing it, I can feel the mood in the room just changes instantly. Because in the show I'm doing at the minute, it goes from, I do quite a bit of pop stuff, then I flick into the classical stuff, then a bit more pop, and I mix and match it. And you can feel the kind of, you can feel the emotion people feel towards classical music. It's incredible.
Because that's the thing about you. Aren't you like the first X Factor to have recorded your 4th album?
I think so. I think at the time when I released my 4th album, I think maybe I was. I mean, I try not to. People make all these things up, and you're this, you're that, and blah, 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 blah. And I try and just not to pay attention to it. But I think at the time when I released it, I was. But obviously people have caught up now because it was like over a year ago.
Yeah. Well, you're working on your 5th, aren't you?
Yeah. At the minute, I mean, the tour's kind of taken up most of my time, but there's a lot of new material in the show. In the new tour show, I've put some new written songs in there that I've wrote, and I kind of wanted to give the audience, a kind of chance to hear some new stuff, before an album comes out. In a less kind of, I always find it's quite pressurizing when you give people brand new music that you've written or whatever. It's always like kind of put on an album and it's made to be this big thing, whereas I kind of naturally wanted to just give it like in a live performance, in a concert setting.
Yes. Yeah. But do you think the fact that you have had so much success since X Factor, I mean, people expect you to do well of the backing of X Factor, but then to fade away. Yeah. But do you think you're kind of lasting because you're writing your own stuff and you're doing different things like the classical?
I mean, I think, from the day after I won X Factor, people said, oh, yeah, well, he won't be around in a year, I think that's just kind of the thing that people say with X Factor, and, the thing that I've always had an understanding of is that the X Factor is not responsible for my career, I'm responsible for it. And what I do after the show is down to me. It's not down to anybody else, I work hard, I try new things, I'm not trying to take risks, and I just, most of all, to be quite honest with you, I just have fun. Yeah. I enjoy what I do. I don't take it too seriously. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to me performances and things like that, but everything else, I just have fun with it and enjoy it because, this industry is a short-lived industry. Like, there's no mistaking that. And my dream is to, hopefully have a career in 30 years' time and still be doing something that I absolutely love. And I just try and kind of work hard to kind of create that longevity if it's possible.
What a lovely guy. Joe McElderry coming to Skegness Embassy Theatre on Saturday the 29th of March. You'll be able to hear more from Joe in a moment, talking about, because he's sang with some amazing people, and I asked him kind of which one was the one that inspired him the most. You'll be able to hear his answer in a minute. Back when I was a child. Joe McElderry is the former X Factor winner from 2009, would you believe, who's also been in The Jump recently on telly, as well as, did you see him in Pop Star to Opera Star, which was amazing. And his career does seem to be just going from strength to strength. Well, I mentioned that it's sung with some amazing people and asked him, though, who was the one that inspired him the most?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with Dion Warwick about a year ago.
Yeah, I know.
And that was pretty... I watched her record. Basically, we recorded a duet together for a big charity, the World Hunger Project.
Yeah, it was One World, One Song, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I had already recorded my piece of the song, but I actually got to go and spend the day in the studio with her and watch her record her bit, and to kind of see a legend like her, just how they work and how they record and stuff. That was pretty inspiring, and to see the respect you had from everybody, from the sound engineer to the managers, everybody who was there had such like a kind of musical respect for her. That was kind of like really inspiring. I was like, wow, that she's a proper legend, musically.
So what was that like? Was it a bit of a letdown that you weren't singing duets together?
Well, we performed it live together, which was incredible. We actually performed it live before we recorded it, and when we performed it live at a big concert at the Royal Albert Hall, then asked if we would record it as a duet.
Right.
And I kind of thought, well, she's not going to agree to do it. A live performance is pushing it. She's probably not going to agree to a recording, and she actually did. So it was incredible. The fact that I couldn't see us being on a single with hers was incredible. But I got to sing it with her live, which at the Royal Albert Hall, which I think was even better than recording it, to be honest. That was kind of a standout moment for me.
Did she give any tips types to you? Did you have chance to have a chat with her and pick her brains about stuff?
I mean, we did have time to chat and stuff, but she's a very normal lady, you know. It wasn't. She was just chatting away and just she was very complimentary and just said you have a beautiful voice and just keep working hard and doing what you're doing, you know. Kind of just that was kind of the advice.
Because your albums have done really well. Your latest is Here's What I Believe.
Yes.
So with the tour that you're bringing to Skegness, what can we expect? Is it going to be mostly music from Here's What I Believe? Which I love the title track of that, by the way.
You what?
I love the title track of that, by the way.
Thank you. I mean, the thing is with this show is that I've called the show Set Your Soul Alive. It's the Set Your Soul Alive tour.
Yeah.
And because I haven't released an album for a year, I kind of just wanted to make the show just what I wanted to sing. You know, like whatever I fancied putting on off each album that I've released. And any covers that I wanted to put in. Because, you know, when you do a tour, normally it's to promote an album. Or you're doing a tour after the album, so you have to include a lot of the album tracks.
Yeah.
And I've done that with every previous tour. But with this one, I just wanted to go out on the road and just sing whatever I wanted to sing.
That's amazing. What freedom.
I mean, it's lovely. It's really, really nice because there's no album that's been out previous. You know, the album's going to come out after. So it's got songs from all 4 albums, some of the classical stuff as well, some of the stuff from Here's What I Believe. It's got brand new songs in that I've written, and also some covers, fun covers, you know, that people will love to sing along to, that people might just want to listen to. It's a really fun show, and what I try and do with the shows is make something for everyone. So if you want to come and just sit and listen to nice music, there's a part in the show where you can do that. If you want to hear the classical, you can. If you want to have a dance and a sing-along in the aisles, there's a big section for that as well. So I just try and include everything for everyone.
You know, when I was young, we always used to do cassette tapes of all the favourite songs that we liked and then give it to our boyfriend or somebody that we really liked. It's essentially that from you to us.
I mean, it is. It's kind of I suppose it's a tour that kind of covers my career today.
Yeah.
Because you get all the tracks off each album. There's little snapshots of each album. There's new covers in there. There's brand new material. So it's kind of where I am right now, I think. Certainly, and it's fun. It's a fun show. It's got lots of energy, and it's got a lot of emotion in it as well. There's some emotional songs in there.
So what do you prefer then? Having done the classical and the ballady stuff and the pop stuff, what do you prefer?
Do you know what? I enjoy it all, to be honest. I think it's quite a luxury to be able to, for me, to be able to go out there and sing so many different styles of music. It does get a little bit stressful at times, trying to remember everything.
I bet.
And getting into the right vocal range for each song, but it's great fun, you know. And, I can make set lists so different from night by night by just putting different genres of music from each album. So for me, it's great. I never get bored.
What do you sing as in classical then? Do you go deeper because you are quite naturally high?
Well, the thing is the thing that you have to do is you have to change the pop breed. We're going to get very technical now.
I feel right. I'm sitting comfortably. I'm ready for the education.
The way a pop singer sings, they sing kind of from the throat. You know,
right? Yeah.
It's a very kind of light way of singing. Not that it's not powerful, but it's a light sound, and you can add like riffs in there, and it's very free. Yeah. Whereas the classical, the range that you have to go into is so high and powerful that you have to use your diaphragm and really engage a different breathing technique. So the classical section has to be in a certain point of the show, because I have to kind of get into it. I've managed to do it now where I can flick between a pop song and a classical, but they have to kind of all be clumped together so that once I'm in that zone, it's easy to stay there, if you know what I mean.
Wow, what a challenge. That sounds fab.
I've kind of mastered it so it feels like it's not too out of my comfort zone now, but at first, when I first toured after the classical album, and I had a kind of half of a pop show and half of a classical show, it was pretty full on. I was like, oh my God, what have you let yourself in for?
But I suppose that keeps it fresh, doesn't it? It keeps you on your toes always, doesn't it?
Totally. And you know, with the classical as well, you have to really keep on top of it. You know, you can't. It's not like, if I didn't sing pop music for 3 weeks, it would be easy to sing it again, you know?
Yes.
Classical music, you have to really keep on top of it. So it's quite a dedication.
Oh, well, Joe, it's been so lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much. And we can't wait to welcome you to Skeg.
Thank you. I'm looking forward. It's the first time I've ever performed there, so I'm excited.
Yay! It's a great theatre, and make sure you have a look around. Lots of slot machines. Bring loads of 2Ps.
Oh, yeah.
You're in for a treat.
All right, I'll go in the amusement.
Yeah. What a lovely guy. Joe McElderry coming to Skegness Embassy Theatre Saturday the 29th of March with his Set Your Soul Alive tour. It sounds like it's going to be amazing.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire Job Line.